How do you view things in life? How do you view things in our world, the news we watch, the events we read about? How is it that you see it, and what's your opinion? You know, your opinion and my opinion, it really doesn't matter that much when we compare it to what God thinks. I recently did a couple of BT dailies after I made a visit to the replica of Noah's Ark in nearby northern Kentucky. And I made several points out of scriptures about that. And I would like to go back and pick up one additional thought that I had. When you look at the account in Genesis, in chapter 6, and in verse 5, which is a key verse right there, let me read it to you and see if you pick up on it as I did. Then the Lord saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every intent of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. As God looked at the world, that pre-flood world and the conditions of human life, he said that it is evil continually. The thoughts of man's heart was evil continually. Now we can read right over that, but look at what he says in the first phrase. The Lord saw. God saw. It was God's perspective. It was God's opinion. It was God's judgment, and that's what counted. He saw human conditions. He saw the world at that time, and he knew the hearts of men, and he intervened to actually preserve life on this planet when the whole story is wrapped up in the story about Noah. Christ said that it would be the same way as in the days of Noah, so will it be in the days leading up to his second coming. And in Matthew 24, Christ pointed us to this story once again. And I think that for you and I, as we look at our world today, we may have comfortable lives, we may have wealthy, abundant lives, and that's good too. But as we look at our world, as we look at what's going on, let's remember how God saw that world of Noah's time. And as Christ points us to our day, let's remember that it's God's perspective that counts. It's God's view that counts. The Lord saw what conditions were, and then he acted. It's not what you and I think. It's not what you and I judge. It's what God judges. And that should cause us to pause and to consider, to recognize that we look at life in this world, and should, from the perspective of God. And how does he think about it? His ways are not our ways, he said in another place. His thoughts are not our thoughts. We should get our viewpoint and our thoughts more in line with how God sees things, and that would open up an entirely different perspective on our world today. Something to think about. That's BT Daily. Join us next time.